some very interesting PlayStation 5 Pro news kind of come across here, and I found this to be pretty interesting to say the least. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of talk about the PlayStation 4 Pro, or excuse me, the PS5 Pro going forward, and that makes a lot of sense. You know, we've been kind of with the same hardware now for quite a long time, and you know, I don't really see that hardware getting pushed that much. That's the interesting thing, right? Like, it's pretty clear that we were kind of oversold on the hardware that we have. So when I take a look and I see this, and you see maybe there's even hints at like a PS6, or you know, or we question what the big announcement is going to be for the next Xbox, and you know, we've heard things like biggest technical leap and all this kind of stuff. These are kind of buzzwords and things that get thrown around a lot, but are they going to be things that actually matter, that they kind of get, you know, thrown out there or whatever, and people kind of talk about them, and I understand why people get excited for this stuff, and for me personally, I have to say it's very interesting to see how these things come about. You know, is it ever going to be something that changes in the future? Look, I don't know, but the future of the hardware does still excite me very much as a fan, and I'm sure that a lot of you kind of feel the same way. I definitely want to get into it. Should be a fun video. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking out the videos that I do. I do daily video game content. And, you know, again, if you guys would subscribe, or at the very least slap that like button, you know, give it a good pounding, I would appreciate it. So, again, according to this, and this was what Digital Foundry was talking about, there's a lot of things we could be seeing with the PS5 Pro and even the PS6, because the current generation was oversold to us. So while the PS6 has yet to be officially revealed, Microsoft teased a little bit that we'd see the, quote, biggest generational leap ever. According to the tech experts at Digital Foundry, this is actually likely to happen with the help of machine learning. During their podcast, the tech experts discussed the yet-to-be-revealed next-generation systems, saying that machine learning is likely to play a big part in the aforementioned generational leap. We are already starting to see this in both the PC and console space, with the widespread adoption of NVIDIA DLSS, which is powered by machine learning, and the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, which will be introduced with the upcoming PlayStation 5 Pro. According to Digital Foundry, the surface has barely been scratched regarding what machine learning is capable of, as right now it's been used for ray tracing with NVIDIA DLSS ray reconstruction. Many are the applications that are being researched, such as material and texture quality improvements and even geometry. So some of these machine learning powered features could make the difference between the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox over their predecessors, potentially making these systems the real 4K 60 frames machines that current console generations were said to be. So if you think about it, we were promised a lot with the Xbox Series X and PS5, you know, and again, I think that it makes sense that was going to be the way that it kind of happened or whatever. You know, for me personally, when I'm looking at this and I'm saying, how did Sony kind of make these things happen or whatever, you know, I think that it's crazy the way that we've kind of seen these things happen. But when haven't we been lied to by companies? Like, if we just look at the facts and like the past and gaming in general, we're always getting lied to by companies, right? So Digital Foundry starts talking a little bit about current consoles. They have no doubt that both the PS5 and the Series X were oversold. 4K resolution at 60 frames per second was impossible to achieve without PS4 and Xbox One level of visuals, and it was known from the start, mostly due to insufficient GPU bandwidth. Other features that were talked about before release ended up being unused, and many of them are expensive to implement. With machine learning likely to have a major impact on future consoles like the PS6, it'll be interesting to see how its first introduction goes in the console space. The PlayStation 5 Pro now will fare, however, we'll see how that works out. Thankfully, it seems like we won't have that much longer to wait for more of the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, as the mid-gen refresh is actually rumored and leaked to have been revealed later in this month. So again, we were promised everything with Xbox Series X and PS5, 4K 60, 4K 60, and we really got neither of those things. And it's so wild because the Xbox One X was supposedly a 4K machine, and we know that it was a console that was capable of native 4K. So it's strange to me that, in my opinion, we haven't seen a lot of games that look much better than what we were getting on the PS4 and Xbox One X to begin with. So yeah, I don't really necessarily understand sort of the thought process behind all of this, but I do feel like it is nice to see that, hey, Sony is going to be able to do this stuff, and through things like machine learning, we'll be able to get better resolution, better frame rates, more steady frame rates, and that kind of stuff. That's the kind of thing that I'm kind of looking forward to in like the mid-gen refresh and the next generations and things like that. I hope that it can be things that lead to just better games and things like that, because it's like where we're at with gaming is not a place where I'm particularly happy, to be honest with you. Like, if you just think about these things, gaming is so weird, and we're all kind of hoping that things can kind of change, and that gaming can be in this space that gets people excited about the future again and things, and we just haven't really seen that recently, and that's really unfortunate, and it's like, I think gaming, and I know some people might think this is like a take that's controversial or whatever, but honestly, I don't feel like this is a controversial take at all. I feel like, us as gamers and the gaming companies, they all pretty much, we're all like, oh, we want these face-melting graphics or whatever, and to be clear, we don't really necessarily get them. We get a lot of times stuff that is, very similar to what we've already had before, and then you have the developers who are going out of their way to just create these just hideously ugly characters, and they're checking off these boxes for different reasons for their games or whatever. That just and it just honestly makes zero sense to do that, and that's a real shame, the way that these kind of things go about themselves, So again, I do hope that we get these big bits and pieces. It's nice to see that the PS5 Pro is going to be really the first console to utilize this type of stuff. I'm really kind of curious to see the results, given that the CPU is largely kind of the same in the Pro as the standard PlayStation 5. So if we could see some major results despite that fact, I think that would be quite an epic achievement for Sony. And like I said, things are changing fast in the world of gaming, and that'll continue to sort of be the case. I just hope that we continue to get some of these great games, and an idea that that we finally get what we're paying for a little bit. It's like, here we are, year 4 of the current console generation. There's been some decent games, for the most part. It hasn't been great, but I don't think that it's been like terrible, but we did get oversold a lot, and I think that is something that I wish these companies would absolutely get out of, and that is, hey, if these things are going to be capable of doing something, then so be it. But if they can't, then so be that as well. Why try to upsell us or whatever? But I think, to be honest with you, the fact that so many of us are very much in this kind of situation where we know, I think that's why probably so many people stuck with the PS4 and Xbox One or Xbox One X or PS4 Pro, whatever the case may be. I just felt that a lot of people probably realized that, there was not really a need to. I mean, we're still getting games on Xbox One and PS4. Like, think about that for a second. To me, that is absolutely crazy to think that that is the case, but it is indeed the case. Even that Jedi Fallen Order game or whatever, very much getting ported to Xbox One and PS4 blows my mind. But I don't know. What do you guys feel about this? Are you guys excited about like the super resolution and the machine learning aspect to actually help us get better performance and resolution. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on this and opinions. Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up, and I'll catch you next time. Crap Gamer out.